Hey guys, what's up? It has been so long. It's been so long since I filmed a sit down video. I've had a lot of like travel vlogs and other videos happening lately, and this is the first time that I'm sitting down to actually talk to you in like months. Not the first time ever. This is going to be another Invisalign video, and I'm super excited about this because this, well, actually last week or the week before marks halfway through my Invisalign treatment. So I have a super in-depth video all about the first 2 months of my Invisalign experience. I will have it linked up in the cards, whichever side that is, and then I'll have it linked in the description also. And if you want to learn more about like my first impressions of Invisalign, that's a great video, and that also has like a very detailed run through of all of my Invisalign essentials, so that's a really helpful video. If you have not seen my other Invisalign video, my treatment is supposed to be 50 trays total, and it's supposed to take about 14 months. So I started in July 2021, so hopefully if everything goes well, I should be done in September 2022, and it's February currently, so only a few more months. And the last time I talked to you about Invisalign, I was on tray 5, and now I'm on tray 27. 27! Can I get a little commotion? 27. I'm so excited, and I'm so happy that it's gone by so quickly. So in this video, we're gonna cover my appointment schedule, we're gonna cover the rest of my treatment plan, we're gonna cover my teeth progress. I'm gonna show some progress pictures, so stay tuned for that for sure. My favorite accessories and like my must-haves for Invisalign, and a few other things that I just wanted to like tell you all about. I am doing my favorite thing. My new favorite feature on YouTube is chapters, so you can skip to different parts of the video. If you see something that you're not interested in, just feel free to fast forward to the part that you are interested in. Let me know like questions that you have. I'm so happy to answer any questions. Comment them below because I clearly love talking about Invisalign. So let me know if you have questions about like my experience, questions about like how the treatment works. I'm happy to answer anything. Okay, so let's start off with my appointment. So the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because it's probably one of the most frequently asked questions I get is how often do you have to go to the orthodontist? For some reason, people think that you have to be going there all the time. I think with braces, you have to go like once a month, which is crazy, and I'm so glad that I don't have to do that. And I think every orthodontist probably treats it a little bit differently, but how it's set up for me is I have had 6 appointments so far. I had 2 pre-getting my Invisalign, so I had a consultation appointment, and then I had a scanning appointment where they like took 3D images of my teeth to make the actual retainers. Then I've had 4 appointments since then. So I got them on in July, and then I didn't have to go back until the end of September, and then I went again in December, and then at the beginning of February, and now my next appointment is in April. So I go every 10 weeks now. And for my first 4 trays, I was on bi-weekly changes. So that means obviously I changed my trays every 2 weeks, and I didn't have any attachments on. I'm really happy that that's the way that my orthodontist did it. If you don't know what attachments are, they're like these little buttons. I have them on right now, like see that and that and that. There are these little buttons that they basically like glue to your teeth, and they help your retainers snap in a little bit more, and then they put pressure on certain points of your teeth that need to move more than others, like if they need to be brought down or shifted over or like rotated at all. That's what attachments are for. So I would say that the attachments are probably the most uncomfortable part of Invisalign. I don't even notice them anymore, but having them get put on is really uncomfortable, and then also the first tray with the attachments is pretty uncomfortable. So I'm really glad that my orthodontist set it up so that the first 8 weeks I was just getting used to trays, and there was definitely some movement in the first 4, and then I got my attachments put on. A lot of people right when they start Invisalign get their attachments put on, and it's like a huge adjustment all at once. So I'm really glad that it was spaced out for me. Okay, so then once I got my attachments put on, then I got switched to weekly changes, and I've been on weekly changes ever since tray 5. And like I said, I'm on tray 27 now, and it's the end of February, which means that it's been 7 months. That means that I'm exactly halfway through because it's supposed to be 14-ish months total, 13 to 14 months. When I go to the orthodontist now, I go once every 10 weeks and it's like a 15-minute appointment. They just check to make sure that everything's tracking the way that they want it to be tracking. And luckily I have not had any issues with tracking. Everything seems to be moving really perfectly and just how they were expecting it. And then after they look at my teeth, make sure that everything looks good, then they give me the next 10 trays. And they give me a nice little bag, and then they give me like a whole stack of the trays. So these are what they look like. They're like a little baggie basically that has the date that they want you to switch it on. They make it really nice and simple for you. Then they give me my next 10 trays. Then I go home, go about my merry little way. And it's been such a great experience. I really love my orthodontist. So now I'm going to get into like tips and some of the accessories that I use that I mentioned in my first video that now I have like a much better sense of what I'm actually using. Major tip that is that my orthodontist told me that it's preferable to change your aligners like right before going to bed the night before on the day you're supposed to change. And they suggested doing that because the first few hours when you switch your trays are when your teeth are the most sensitive because they're being moved for the first time in that way. So highly recommend switching your trays right before bed because then you wake up the next morning and it's barely any pain at all. Like I have experienced so much less pain than I was anticipating with this. It's mostly just like a soreness for the first like 2 days after switching trays, and it's such a hard feeling to explain. Like it just feels like your teeth are moving. I think that's what I said in my first video. Like there's really no other way to describe it. Like it's a little bit sore, a little bit tight, and like when you bite down, it almost feels like when you press a bruise, kind of like an old bruise. If that gives you any indication of what I'm trying to say, then if you know, you know. If you have Invisalign, you know that feeling that I'm talking about. Or I think that it's a similar feeling to like if you've had braces and you put your retainer in after you haven't had it in for a while. That's that feeling, like for the first 2 days of switching your retainers. Let's get into some things that I like cannot live without on my Invisalign journey. So obviously the first one is my retainer case. I can't live without that. Like if I leave the house without that, I feel naked. I need it with me at all times. And then going along with that, my ortho key. This is an amazing device. I had no idea what this was pre-Invisalign, but it's like a little hook tool that you hook into. I'll try to show you. Hook in to the inside of your mouth, to the inside like corner of your teeth, and then it pulls it down. So it makes it super easy to get them in and out because it's a little bit more difficult with attachments to get them in and out just because they're like so like hooked into your teeth. So definitely recommend getting an ortho key. You can get them on Amazon. They're super cheap. Other things that I can't leave the house with, mouthwash. This is actually empty. I need to fill it up. Mini mouthwash, have to have that with me. And then I also love having floss on me at all times. This is from Quip. It's really cool. I love it. And then I can't leave the house without my mini travel toothbrush because I have to say I have gotten worse at brushing my teeth before putting them in every single time. Like I brush my teeth in the morning, like after I eat breakfast, I'll brush my teeth and then brush my retainer because I need my retainers to be clean. But then after lunch, sometimes I'll just do like some mouthwash and instead of brushing my whole teeth because it just feels like such an undertaking. Like when I'm at work, when I'm home, it's fine. But like when I'm at work, I really don't want to do it. So I will say I have gotten a little lax with that, but then I always brush it like at night, brush my teeth at night and floss. And that's when I brush my retainers for the second time because I brush my retainers twice a day. Other thing, mini toothpaste, have to have that. And then I also always have the toothbrush that I use to brush my retainers because my orthodontist told me that I should be brushing my retainers with just regular soap and water twice a day. So I do that twice a day. And I have a few other things. Oh, it's good to have some pain medicine of some sort, just in case. I probably have only used Advil like once or twice for Invisalign during my entire treatment so far, which is really good because, and I have a really low pain tolerance, so that is saying something. So those are the things that I take with me every single day. The other thing that I have to talk about, because I told, like in my last video, I said that it was a nice to have. These are not nice to have, so you have to have these. This is called a chewy, and it's basically like a little rubber, like hard thing. I don't even know how to describe it. When do you use chewies? You use chewies right after you switch to a new retainer, and if you chew like them like gum, obviously do not eat it. If you chew on it, I usually chew on it for like half an hour, 45 minutes when I switch to a new retainer. And I have noticed that the times that I forget or I don't have a chewy and I switch to a new retainer, there is so much more pain. Like, it's not super painful, but like there is a noticeable difference when I don't use them to when I do use them. So I highly recommend that you get chewies because they're amazing. They help like your retainers like fit into your teeth a bit more. I don't really fully understand the science, but I believe it. The other tip that I have for you is you have to check out the Invisalign subreddit. I'm pretty sure it's just r/Invisalign. And there are so many great people on there. If you have any questions, everybody is so helpful. And it's also really inspiring because people post before and after pictures. So it's very motivating if you're feeling like down in the dumps about Invisalign. So I highly recommend checking it out. Or if you're like thinking about doing Invisalign, that is a great place to start because there's so many resources on there and great people. Okay, so before I close this video, I have to talk about my progress, obviously. So the main like weirdness about doing Invisalign is that your bite changes so much. I mean, I'm guessing that it's the same for everyone, but it's definitely been true for me that my bite has changed a lot. So like sometimes I'll feel like this side is lower than this side, like when I bite down, so I feel like I'm like lopsided, and then other times it's the other way around. Like things are just constantly moving. Biggest changes that I've noticed down here, and I don't know if I'm focused, down here my teeth are so much less crooked. They have come so far. And then the other thing, which I didn't really even notice pre-Invisalign, but my front teeth used to stick out a lot. Like they were kind of like buck teeth, and I just never really like noticed it. So they have moved to become so much more flush with the rest of my top teeth, and I really like how it's looking. The other thing is my smile has widened so much. Like before Invisalign, I feel like you could only see like these teeth when I smiled, and now you can see like 2 more teeth. So my smile has like gotten a lot wider, which is a really great look. The other thing is that it's so much easier to floss. That was something that I hadn't even thought about. That has been so great because my teeth are not crowded. Like everything's spaced out so nicely. So it's like flossing is so much quicker, so much more of a breeze. So this is what my smile currently looks like. I also feel like you can see so much more of my bottom teeth when I smile now. Like, it just looks so good, so different. I'm so happy with it. So now I'm gonna put some pictures on the screen of how my teeth looked before, right before I put tray 27 in. So this is the difference. I feel like it's major. It's crazy how different my smile looks, and it's so funny because I don't really notice it that much because it's been so gradual. If I'm with friends and we take a picture, my smile looks totally different. Like in a few group shots, it's been so weird. Like I seriously feel like my whole face looks different because of it, and it probably isn't as noticeable to other people because they're not me, but it's been so noticeable for me. So overall, I am so happy with my decision. I'm hopefully gonna post more Invisalign updates. Let me know like how often you want to see updates. Like I feel like I should do another update obviously before I finish. So let me know what you want to see because I want to deliver what you want to see. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to comment below any questions you have. If you're doing Invisalign too, I would love to hear from you because we can be Invisalign buddies. And thank you so much for watching. I hope that you learned something from this video. I hope that you got something interesting out of it. And if you liked the video, then be sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, do all of those things, and I will see you guys in my next video. I feel like I am the person in that TikTok that's like, hey, hey. I am talking fast. So what else did I want to talk about? Thanks for watching.